Welcome. I'm the Deadwood Jedi, and there's another Raid Shadow Legends video. Today, I'm actually kind of excited. I have a pretty fun little video, I think, for you guys. I'm going to be looking at another champion, another champion spotlight. I am in my account today because this is one of the few champions I did pull and was really excited about. It's Godseeker Aniri. Godseeker Aniri is one of the best. Actually, I honestly feel like the best champion that was introduced in this last patch. Better than Cardiel, better than Astralon, better than any of the other ones because she does everything that you want. She's a champion that you're going to be able to bring in every single aspect of this game. Now, look, I am not a. I'm good at all areas of this game. I'm not an expert in Arena, and I know that Godseeker Aniri is doing some fabulous stuff in Arena, some stuff you guys definitely are going to want to check out. I'll bring her in there. We're going to take a quick look at her, but to really get an understanding of how good she is, you're going to need to really explore some of the new metas and different ways to use her, which are being explored right now. She's pretty new champion, so there's a lot of new stuff kind of coming in, but she has some really cool stuff in her kit that can be really useful for doing that kind of stuff. So that's something you're definitely going to want to, kind of consider and check out. And this is actually a new area of the game, so you guys yourselves can come up with some really cool meta ways to utilize her in that respect. Where I do want to use her, I think, is going to be in Clan Boss. Now, I don't have a team specifically built out for her, but I do have her built so I can stick her into my Clan Boss team that I have right now. It's going to lose some of the damage, obviously. It's not going to be quite as efficient as it would normally be, but I think you guys are going to be really impressed, and this should be a good showcase because you're going to see her up against one of my favorite champions that's also new, Iron Brago. Iron Brago and her, they're going to do almost equivalent damage. She actually might do more damage than Iron Brago with very similar setups on their kits, which I think says a lot about her potential. When you can hit hard and bring utility, that's all you need in this game. Now, you can easily set her up because she does a lot of stuff. You know what, guys? I'm rambling. Let's stop. Let's take a moment. Let's look at her kit. It's going to explain a lot. Once you understand what she can do, it explains so much of where you can use her. So let's go take a look real quick. Okay, so this is Godseeker Aniri. She looks amazing. I really do love the look, right? I love the bronzed armor. I love the bronzed wings. I think that's super cool. Even the details of like the slats for the wings to come out and not ruin her tabernacle or whatever you call that is pretty dope. The glowing sword is a really nice touch. The blue gems, everything's really cool. I like the champion, the way she looks. I even love the scar on her face. I think that's just super cool. Now, the way I have mine kitted out, I have her in stalwart gear. My Clan Boss team right now is pretty much all in stalwart gear, so this is kind of appropriate for my team currently. So it allows me to just drop her in. You can see we have about 4,400 defense, 187 speed, 100% crit rate, 214 crit damage. We don't need resist for her, 40k HP. Really quickly, and I'm just going to point this out because you're going to see a damage comparison. Iron Brago, same team, 5,300 defense, 75% crit rate. I have Bad L on my team, so I don't need 100% to get there. 235 crit damage, 40,000 HP. So, like, equivalent damage-wise, Brago's definitely set up more. About 1,900 more defense, another 20% crit damage, just so you have an idea to compare them later, okay? Now, as far as her skills go, on her A1, she has a heal on the ally with the lowest HP by 5% of their max HP. So, that's solid. I mean, it's just an A1 hit, but those heals will add up over time. It gets another 15% bump, so that's really going to be more like, I want to say about 6% heal. Nothing crazy, but, there you go, 6% heal. The A2 skill, AoE, attacks all enemies, heals all allies by 15% of their max HP, then decreases duration of all buffs on the enemies by 1 turn, increases duration of all buffs on all allies by 1 turn. This is really nice, guys. You know Sandlash Survivor. She's great. This is Sandlash Survivor's skill. This heal actually is, once you book her, gets an extra 20% heal. So that's going to be an 18% heal there. And, this is almost exactly like Sandlash Survivor. Extend buffs of your allies, decrease the duration of buffs for your enemies. It's a really strong ability. By bringing in Sandlash, you're able to maximize a lot of skills. Sometimes you can, do a lot of different things with your Clan Boss team and make champions that may not work usually work really well for your squad. So that's an awesome, awesome skill. You can actually see it is identical to Sandlash Survivor, if I can find her here. Yeah, it's almost identical. Decreases duration of all enemy buffs by 1, increases duration of ally buffs by 1. Exactly the same skill. So if you don't have Sandlash and you have Godseeker, you're set. The A3, this is a great skill. These last two are really what makes Godseeker Aniri so much more unique than Sandlash, and I think in a lot of ways better than Sandlash. She has a revive on her A3. Revives the dead ally, 50% HP, 50% turn meter, and resets the cooldowns of all their skills. That's the key part of that one. Resets the cooldowns of all her skills. That's where you're going to see she's amazing in Arena. Because if you have a champion die and she revives them, their skills come back. So you can have your nuker go, have them die, revive them, and all of a sudden their skills are back. Or your speed lead, or whoever you want. It's a very cool skill. And this is another one that works really well in Arena. This passive ability, 1, increases the amount of healing all allies receive by 10%. That's just nice. But 2, if an ally is about to get killed by a fatal hit, preempts that hit, instantly places a revive on death buff on them for 1 turn before the damage is taken. That means it's like an instant revive on death. It's a very cool ability. You actually see this if you use her with like a man-eater, somebody else has unkillable up. Where they're about to die, the unkillable stops them from dying. But because the hit would be a lethal hit, they get this revive on death ability. And you can kind of just see that there. It's very cool. Basically, it's a get out of jail free card. It has a 4-turn cooldown, so it's not like she's going to be doing it all the time. And this has a 4-turn cooldown as well. But what this means, if she can survive that fatal hit, she'll revive one ally. And then she'll be able to revive another ally as necessary. So it's a very, very cool skill. I do like it a lot. It doesn't work for all your allies. It's just one. And it will prioritize the champion in team order. So just be aware of that. There's one you need to revive first. Make sure they're your lead champion, for example. But I think there's lots of ways to build her. So right now, and you can see mastery-wise, I have her basically with a Bad L setup, right? So I have it so that we have healing all the way down the support tree, and then offense down to War Master, just so we can use her best for Clan Boss. That's why I have her set up this way. Now, like I said, I do have her set up for Clan Boss, right? I have her in Stalwart gear. I have her with a lot of defense, and that's her attack skill is defense, so that's great. Okay HP. If you're going to build her for Arena, you're not worried as much about the damage she's doing. She's setting up your rest of your champions, right? So you're not worried so much about defense. You need that HP higher to let her survive longer. You want that speed higher so she goes faster. There's other things you're probably building, maybe not even building the crit damage. Like I have crit damage gloves on her. You're probably building crit rate gloves on her. So those are kind of the things that you would make adjustments depending on where you're going to use her, right? Same thing if you're using for Doom Tower, if you're using for dungeons. The damage isn't at what you need because it's mostly A1, mostly single target hits. But for Clan Boss, this is pretty ideal. And what I want to do is, while she has some great healing ability, I'm going to bring her into Clan Boss right now. And I have a pretty stacked, ready to go team. Not worried about that. It's been doing wonders for me. You'll notice Vizier's in there. I'm going to take Vizier out of this team. And I'm going to bring her in instead. Now, it is one of those things where you give something up, you add something, you give up something, right? So Bad L gives us extra damage when poisons are up. Poisons aren't going to be up the whole time. Rosin has decreased defense and weaken on his A2. It's not going to be up the whole time. So there is definitely going to be a drop-off for my team doing this. But we are going to have increased defense almost the whole time with Iron Brago. We are going to be able to see this team, I think, work really well in concert. So we should have a good idea of how Godseeker Aniri is going to keep everything going. And great thing, Godseeker Aniri extends all those buffs. So we're going to see her really put in some work as far as keeping those buffs on everybody full time. That does include Battle Khazars. Okay, guys, we're going to bring Godseeker Aniri in here, and we're just going to get it started. So, yeah, I'm going to get this set up basically right now, and you can kind of pay attention if you want. But, Godseeker's big thing is she can extend all the buffs. So timing that out is going to maximize the efficiency of the team that you're using. One of the great things about Godseeker, obviously, is she has some AoE heal as well. The unfortunate thing with the way I'm setting this up is her heal is going to happen at a time that's not really as beneficial for us. So that's just the reality of the situation, which is that's okay. Her extending Bad L's heals is way more important in any case. So I'm just gonna kind of keep this rolling here. In fact, why don't I move myself over the other side? Get a little bit more room here for you guys. There we go. All right, so it just takes a little bit of time to set this up. Not a ton, but making sure everything goes right is important. Now, this team is not designed, just not designed to be, perfectly set up. So just be aware of that. There are going to be some issues with how this works because it's not designed around Goddess Aniri. So I don't have enough accuracy on my Iron Brago, for example. We're not going to land this decreased attack every single time. Just the reality of it. That's okay. It's not a problem. But here you go. So we have increased defense on pretty much everybody, except Battle Khazar. It is off, but it will be on in the future of these fights. We're going to go ahead and extend it right here. That'll let it carry all the way through. Everyone's going to go. And we are in sync right now, so I'm going to go ahead and let it run. Obviously, we're not going to get most of our damage from poisons. That's kind of how it works when you only have Bad L putting poisons in there, no Vizier. But I think this should work pretty well for us, so kind of excited to see how this goes. Most important thing I want you guys to pay attention to. Look at the damage that Godseeker Aniri is doing. Guys, you see that? 146k? I mean, are you kidding me right now? She's hitting harder than Iron Brago is. 82,000 there. He's doing 97. That's on the A1. It's off counterattack, so it's a little lower than normal. But, I mean, they're doing almost equivalent damage, guys. 55k there. 62k there. We don't have decreased defense and weaken up. She's really good. I mean, really, really good. Just phenomenal champion, guys. So definitely somebody I, highly recommend paying attention to, using. There's really nowhere that I think, that she's not great, honestly. Yeah, she's pretty fantastic champion. And so yeah, she's great. Yeah, just watch the damage, watch what she can do. I'm stunned at how great she really is in this. And I've heard some people say that she's not good for clan boss. To those people, I would say, pull your head out of some place where it shouldn't be. Not to be mean about it. Obviously, I get mistakes all the time, but she's very good about this. She's very, very good, guys. If you have her and you're sleeping on her, wake up, because she's great for clan boss. She's going to be great for arena too, and we'll look at that after this. But, I do like her. All right, let's go ahead and we'll just jump to the end here, and you guys can see kind of the damage totals that we do. Okay, guys. 44 million damage total. Let's see. How much damage did these two do? This is what we wanted to see. You guys can see we did 10 million for Brago, 9 million for Godseeker Aniri. Almost the same amount of damage. And you can see Godseeker Aniri did a whole bunch of healing. Protected us, got those extensions out there, made this team work in a lot of ways. Pretty good, guys. Pretty good, That's good damage. My Brago is stacked, right? He's got almost 1,000. He's got, 900 more defense? He's got 20% more crit damage. And Godseeker Aniri's about 1.5 million less. That's, I don't know. Guys, she can hit. She can play. She can definitely do some work for your clan boss team if you need to use her. Definitely recommend her for that. I guess real quick, before we bring her in anywhere, one thing I want to point out, especially if you're going to try and use her for clan boss, there is some interesting synergy here with her kit that I haven't been able to figure out. But I feel like somebody smart out there is going to. Now, you guys might have heard of the Phoenix comp, where champions die and then are revived and stay in sync for 50 turns doing that. It's very tricky to do. It's not something that the calculator is set up to simulate for you. That said, this skill right here is a 3-turn skill to extend buffs. The last skill there is the cooldown. This skill here, this passive revive on death, is a 4-turn cooldown. If you can do it and not book this one skill here, but still manage to book all of this, I think there becomes a lot of synergy using her in a clan boss team. especially potentially letting the stun champion die every time and just revive naturally. I feel like there's a lot of potential with that. Now, like I said, I don't know how to tune that. I don't know how to tune that, guys. Don't ask me how to tune that. I have no idea how to tune that. When you revive from Revive on Death, you start at 0 turn meter. So it's just like the very start of the game where you're at 0, the clan boss is at 0. So you'd have to have your champion go faster than the clan boss or, protect them in some way, whatever. I don't know how to do that. But I think that there is a way, and I think Godseeker could really make that happen. And I'm waiting for somebody really smart to figure out, if I bring Godseeker in with a tower, I can have a fully unkillable team, which would just be a pretty darn remarkable unkillable team. Not to extend unkillable buff or block damage, you can't extend those, but to give that revive on death. And I feel like there's a lot of potential to that. A lot of potential using her in a 2-1 ratio team in the same fashion, where she's extending the buffs of everybody, but using that revive to keep everyone alive. I don't know how, like I said, but I do feel like that is something that's very possible to do. So definitely, guys, something to keep in mind there going forward. Now, one of the places I would like to show her really quickly is just in Arena. She's not optimized for this, guys. I have no idea how these fights are going to go. Now, with this type of team, what should happen, they're probably going to outspeed us. Their trend is going to go, wipe our team out, at which point Arbiter will revive the rest of the champions, and we'll have a chance to fight. That's kind of the idea. Now, like I said, not saying this is all at all optimal. There you go. This is what's going to happen. Boom, boom, boom. Boom. And revive. You saw that revive go on Arbiter there. She's not fast enough to actually bring the rest of our champions alive or around again. But this is the idea. We get one boost, 2 boosts. All of a sudden, it's a new fight. We're back in it. Their champions are really good, so it becomes a little tougher. One of the great things, though, about Godseeker is she has another revive on her skill, which is great. So she can still revive a champion even after that revive on death. Makes her really good for Arena. Now, obviously, this isn't the best. We're not crushing it yet. But my trend is so strong, it doesn't matter. She's going to pretty much wipe their team regardless, and that's how the game goes. So you can see how Godseeker can be really useful. Now, I'm not a genius at speed tuning for Arena. This is just not my forte. I haven't spent most of my time on it. That said, I think it's really easy to see that there's a lot of potential to that. Yeah, we'll do this. We'll just let Godseeker do some damage and just see what she can do. This way, Madame Ceres can go ahead and strip some of these buffs for us, and should be good for us, I think. If we can go. All right, so she's going to strip it. You'll see her with decreased defense and weaken on most of them, not on Duchess. That's okay. We'll do the attack all enemies. We can extend our buffs, heal ourselves, and decrease the length of their buffs. You can see pretty decent damage across the board. Not a wilting flower. Can definitely do a little bit of work. Is she going to be a nuker for you? God, no. I do not see that being the case. But that said, she's not a waste of space either. She is going to be able to do a little bit of work for you guys. Now, this team obviously is trash as far as damage. We don't have anybody to do any real damage with this squad, so obviously it's a little bit lackluster as far as that goes. That's okay. It's not the point right now. Point is just kind of see what she can do. So hopefully I can get her another turn here at some point. Let's try and get her a little boost. There we go. All right. Yeah, we can kind of see her A1. No decrease in defense and weaken. She worked Seeker right there. Did some real work. And you can see the revive, even though Rhodos just went ahead and wiped her out. But because of that, Rhodos didn't go ahead and attack anybody else. So not all bad. Yeah, that's kind of the idea with it. I think you guys get the idea. She can hit hard. She can definitely do some work offensively. She can do some work for you guys defensively. Her utilities there really isn't any place in this game where she's not good. A lot of times I would bring a champion like this into the dungeons. If you cannot see how she is good for dungeons, I cannot help you. She has revive skills. She has buff extensions. She hits hard. She has buff decrease. She's going to be good everywhere, guys. There's really no spot where she's not. Now, the trick with a champion like that is obviously tuning it. You still want to tune your team, even if you're doing dungeons, even if you're doing clan boss, obviously, if you're doing arena, you still want to tune it so that their skills are working in concert with the rest of your allies. And so that's going to be really important. She's not ready for dungeons. She's not tuned for that. I could bring her in and be fine. But I think you guys understand that what you want to do is you can use her in those places and she'll be very effective, but she's going to be more effective the better you tune her. Now, one of the places I actually like her a lot in is Ice Golems. And the reason why is in Ice Golems, it's very easy for a champion to die accidentally. When the Ice Golem has that extra hit, if you take his health down too early and his minions are still up, with that revive skill that she has, the passive one, it makes it a lot easier to survive that, because that passive will save your bacon occasionally. And so I think it's a very great skill for that spot in particular. She's really good in Doom Tower in a similar vein. In addition to that, she still has a revive. So even if one person dies accidentally, if two people die accidentally, one gets the automatic revive, and then she can use her skill to bring the other one back up. It's a really nice skill, really good emergency skill for her to have. So in those cases, you just want to build her as tanky and survivable as possible. But in general, she's fantastic, guys. I mean, just fantastic. I cannot emphasize this enough. Godseeker Aniri is phenomenal in this game. So definitely somebody you're going to want to check out. I will have a clan boss spotlight. My clan mate Napoleon's been running Godseeker as in part of his regular clan boss team. She's phenomenal. So I'm going to do a little spotlight on that team coming up, just so you guys can actually see her in a full clan boss run and really see what she can do. But yeah, great champion, guys. If you have her, build her out. The one negative, this is a serious negative, is like a lot of these champions, she requires 1.5 million books. She is a read crazy person. 6 books on the A1, 5 books on the A2, 3 on the A3, 3 on the passive. Just so many stupid books, guys. It's mind-boggling. What's that? 17 books, right? 5, 6, that's 11. 3, 14. 3 more, 17. It's just way too many. However, if you don't care that much about damage, one of the things you can do is really all you really need is to get these passives booked. That's really what you need. It's nice to get this cooldown for dungeons, for arena. Honestly, I wish I hadn't booked that because I feel like there's some synergy with her on a 4-turn cooldown that I'm not able to access currently, but there's something there to that. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, obviously, if you use her in a 2-1 team, you don't have to worry about that so much. It's actually better to have her fully booked. So just keep those things in mind as far as booking her. She doesn't need to be fully booked. It just makes her better. In a lot of ways, like Sandlast Survivor. Sandlast Survivor has a wonderful passive ability where she places a ally protection and block damage buff. It's on a 4-turn cooldown. Her extension, buff extension, is a 3-turn cooldown. It's the same exact idea, guys. If you don't book that A2 of hers and make that a 4-turn cooldown, all of a sudden they synergize a little bit differently. It doesn't mean it's better. It's just different. And for your particular tune, that might work out better for you. So things to keep in mind, options you have in front of you guys. Hopefully this was helpful. If it was, hit that subscribe and like button. If you guys, I don't know, guys. Hopefully this was fun for you guys. Check out my Game On account. I've got some fun videos on there. I try to post some stuff on there every day or every couple days at least. But yeah, you know what? Till next we meet, I'm the Deadwood Jedi.